Hi everyone, Anna from movefit Pilates, and this is module 3 of the Pillars of Pilates course, and this week we're looking at my top 10 favorite exercises in Pilates. I'm really excited to get going, but first I just want to say, if you are trying these at home, please listen to your bodies. The top 10 come from the beginners classes, however some are more challenging. If you know you are unable to do some, please don't attempt to do them at home, and always be smart about which ones you try to do. Right, I'm excited to get going, so let's get started. Right, so at number 10 is the roll down. So I will demonstrate the roll down facing this way, so you can see what's happening on my spine. Feet, knees hip distance apart, nice length through my spine. Arms out by my side, and move starts with a little chin knot. Keeping that knotted chin all the way as we flex through our entire spine, bone by bone. Weight staying over the front of the feet. Arms just hanging, zombie arm. Just getting a nice stretch along the back of the legs, and then I'm rolling back up. Taking my pelvis back underneath me, restacking that spine, lifting the chest and then the head. And that's the roll down. At number 9, so there would be squats in my list. I love a good squat, but this one has a little bit of an extra element to it, so a little bit of balancing. It's called the ankle series, and I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Knees are again soft, and I'll do a couple just normal squatting to begin with. So you bend those knees, sit back into the sit bones, arms come forward, but instead of coming straight up, I'm going to come up onto the balls of my feet. Connecting gently through my tummy muscles, I'm lifting and bringing my heels back down. You do a few this way. First, balls of the feet and lifting, and then you would reverse it. So you're bringing your weight over the front of the feet, working on your balance, a little bit of connection through your tummy muscles, and squatting here, bringing your heels down. And I'll do one more like this, heels down, lengthening back up, and they're wonderful. At number 8, threading the needle. So threading the needle is an exercise we do on all fours. So I'm going to get onto the mat, hands and knees. My hands are shoulder distance, my knees are hip distance. Shoulders are away from my ears. My neck is long. The highest point along my spine is the back of my head, and I've got a little bit of bum sticking out. All about rotation, threading the needle. So I'm going to start with my left hand, palm facing up, and thread that arm underneath my right. As my right elbow bends, I'm taking the shoulder towards the mat. Pushing myself back up into the start position and doing the same on the opposite side. So it's a lovely exercise for spinal mobility and rotation, but also for building up our upper body strength. And that's threading the needle. At number 7, it's cat and extended cat, the two together. So again, we're going on all fours, hands and knees. This one again, spinal mobility, but in flexion and then extension. Shoulders away from your ears, that little bit of bum sticking out again. Lovely alignment, and we're going to roll the pelvis underneath us, coming into a flexed lumbar spine, flexing the back of the ribs, watching that neck as you flex it down. Shoulders stay away from your ears. Releasing head and tailbone back at the same time, briefly resting in the start position to stick your bum out a teeny bit more, pushing your chest forward and up. Little breath in at the top, and exhaling to come back to your start position. That's number 7, cat and extended cat together. Number 6 is oysters. I love a good oyster. So lying on our side, getting our arm lengthened out underneath our head, a folded cushion or towel between the head and the arm. My knees will be bent, and I want my feet roughly in line with my bottom, top arm just in front of me for support. All about firing up our glutes here. So I'm going to get the heels connected. Watch that I'm not dropping in my underneath waist, and I'm going to keep the heels connected, just open from the knee, rotating that hip in the pelvis and coming back down. Lovely thing about oysters is you can actually feel that glute muscle working. And that's oyster number 6. At number 5, we have the dart. And that's down lying on our tummy, so I'm going to bring myself down onto the mat. There are several versions. The one I'm going to show you today has the feet slightly further apart than close together. My arms are going to come down the sides of the body with my forehead resting on the mat. We start the dart with nudging our nose forward, stopping at the tip of our nose, lifting the chest, bringing the arms up and turning the palms so they face inwards. And then you come back down, ribs one at a time, redrawing that line, resting your forehead back on the mat. Lovely bit of extension for the upper spine, and that's the dart at number 5. And at number 4 we have the lovely spine curl, and for that again we're coming down to the mat into relaxation position. Feet and knees are hip distance apart. You're resting heavily on your pelvis, on that sacrum, arms down by your sides, shoulders relaxed, and we are going to start the movement with a lovely rolling of the pelvis. So you're taking your pubic bone and rolling it forward as you imprint the lumbar spine on the mat. And then you're going to lift the spine, bone by bone, off that mat, coming up to the lower tips of the shoulder blades. As you release again, bone by bone, articulating that spine, appreciating the movement that the spine can do, and that is a spine curl at number 4. At number 3, we have obliques. Not everyone's favorite, but definitely one of mine. And again, we're coming down into relaxation position for obliques. So, down on the mat, feet and knees back to being hip distance. Our arms this time are going to be clasped hands behind the head, elbows wide so you can just about see them out the corners of your eyes. You've got that nice lift in your chin, and we start the oblique with a lovely little chin nod. So lengthening the back of the neck. Come into your curl up first. And now you're going to imagine taking that left armpit towards the right knee. So you're lifting the back of the ribs as well as taking them down to the side. Back to the center and curl back down. Shortening those abdominals to do your curl up first, and then lifting, using those abdominals to take you up and across. Keeping your pelvis stable for the entire time. And that is the obliques at number 3. At number 2, we have the double leg stretch, stage 3. So this is a more challenging exercise. If you're not quite ready for it, do not attempt it. It is one of the original classical exercises as done by Pilates. So we are coming down onto the mat, briefly staying in relaxation position before we take one leg up and the other leg up. The heels will connect gently. You're coming into your curl up, hands just gently on the knees or the upper part of the shins. And you're going to take the legs away, the arms away. The legs will connect in Pilates stance, so a little V shape at the feet, and then you bring everything back. Lots of tummy muscles. You're supporting the weight of the legs and the arms. And just be aware not to take the arms too far back so you don't lose that curl. And that's the double leg stretch, stage 3 at number 2 on my list. And finally at number 1, for me, it has to be the roll up. It makes number 1 because it took me a long time to get it right. And I think lots of clients as well feel really satisfied when they do get it right. And we are going to start it. So I like to use a little cushion just behind my bottom to give you a little bit of padding as you come down, but you don't need to. The legs are lengthened out in front of you. I'm sat on my sit bones, my arms come out in front of me. Nice length through that spine. We start with the chin nodding and rolling off those sit bones into a C shape with your spine. And then you're going to roll back, bone by bone, onto the mat. Head comes down, arms come behind you. Bring the arms forward, chin tuck. Use those tummy muscles to roll yourself back up into a neutral seated spine. And one more time, C shape first. Rolling back, feeling the spine hit the mat bone by bone, taking those arms out behind you. As you bring them forward, you chin nod and roll back up. And that's my number 1, roll-ups. Thank you for joining me on this third module of the Pillars of Pilates course, and I hope you enjoyed listening and watching my top 10 favorite exercises. Remember, if you do these at home, to listen to your body and to take special care. They are beginners exercises, but we're all different and we should listen to our bodies when we exercise. Next time, we'll be going through a full Pilates routine, so hope you join me then, and thank you from me and goodbye.